Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. To my returning subscribers, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be making this shirt that I'm putting on here. So it's a two-piece. I have the video of the palazzo pants, and I'm going to leave it in the description box so you can go check it out. So please stay tuned, make sure to like, share, comment and subscribe. On my pattern paper here, I'm taking 3 inches all the way down, and this is for my shirt buttonhole. And then at the top, I'll just take 1 inch at the top for the starting line of my shirt. So this 1 inch line here is where I'll be taking my shoulder measurement. So from the buttonhole line, I took 3 inches for my neck width, and then I divided my shoulder measurement, which is 15 inches by 2, which is 7.5. Then I added extra half inch and I marked 8 on it. So from my starting line or my shoulder line, I came down by 9 inches, and then I came down again by 17 inches for my waistline, and then I came down by 24 inches. That is my from my shoulder line to 24 inches, and the 24 inches is my shirt length. And then I added 1 inch for sewing allowance. So I drew these lines off camera because I didn't know my camera wasn't recording, but yes, this is just the measurements I took. So now I'll just go ahead and label them. This is my buttonhole line, and then on this line here, this second line here is my chest line. Here is my waistline. Here is my shirt length, so I just mark it SL, and this other line is the allowance I left for it. Now on my shoulder line, on the 8 inches that I marked on my shoulder line, I came down by 1 inch, and I'm going to connect it to the 3 inches I marked for my shoulder width, and this is just to create a shoulder slope. And then for the depth of the front shirt, I'll take 3 inches, that is 3 by 3, and then I'll just draw a curve to connect the 3 by 3 inches. So this here now is our front shirt neckline, because this pattern that I'm creating is specifically for the front. So I am just drawing the 8 inches so I can draw a straight line to connect it from the shoulder to the chest line. And then I'll take my ruler and draw a straight line on there. And this line here is where we are going to be drawing our armhole. So on this line here, I'm going to measure it, but before that, I'm going to divide on my chest line. I'm going to divide my round bust measurement by 4, and my round bust measurement by 4 is 10 inches, so I'll mark 10 inches here. So you can measure your own round bust or your client's round bust by 4 and mark it there. On my waistline, I'm going to measure my round waist measurement divided by 4. I marked it as well. Now note where you're going to start placing your tape. Where I just pointed, that's where you're going to start placing your tape, from the line on the buttonhole. Then on the shirt length, I marked my hip measurement divided by 4, and that is what I have on my shirt length. Now on this line here, I'm going to check it out to know what I have. And when I measured it, I have 8 inches, and then I'll divide 8 inches by 2, which is 4 inches. Now I will go in on that 4 inches line by half an inch, and then I'll take my curve ruler and connect from here to the half inch and here also to draw my front armhole. Now this is very important while drawing your front armhole, so that you can have a free movement when you're putting on the outfits that you make. So this here now is our front armhole. Now I'll just go ahead and connect all the lines together. Now the next thing I will do is to add 1 inch allowance, and this is on from this 1 inch allowance, half inch is for ease because I don't want the shirt to be tight on me, and the other half inch is just is for sewing allowance. But I would advise you add 1.5 inches here, so that if it's not free enough as you want, you can always adjust. But here I have 1 inch, so that means half inch for ease and half inch for sewing allowance, and then I will draw a line to connect all the points again. And this is like basically it for the front pattern of this shirt. But I'll come here on the shoulder line here, and I'll come down by 1 inch. So I'm going to reduce the shoulder by 1 inch, but I'm going to replace that 1 inch at the back, at the back piece of this shirt. Okay, so I just reduced this by 1 inch, and so this line that I'm drawing here now is the main line for the front, for our front piece. All right, so but I'm going to replace it at the back, so I'm canceling the first line, then this second line here now is the line we are going to be cutting on. Now I'll just go ahead and cut. So I'm cutting on this new shoulder line. So this is it for the front, so I'll just label it front. Now I've gone ahead to place it on my fabric, and I cut it into two. Like I folded the fabric into two and cut it, and then I added half inch at the shoulder for sewing allowance, for joining the front and the back piece together. For the back pattern of this shirt, I'm going to be taking 2.5 inches from the top, and then I'll do basically everything I did for the for the front part, except the buttonhole. So I took 3 inches for the neck width and 8 inches for my shoulder line, and then I basically took 9 inches for my chest line, 17 inches for my waistline, and 24 inches for my shirt length. And then I'm just drawing all to connect all the lines together. So here is my chest line, just like I did at the front. This is my waistline, and this is my shirt length. So on this 8 inches line, I also came down by 1 inch so I can connect it to the 3 inches for my neck, width. And then for the neck depth of my back pattern, I came down by 1 inch, and then I just drew a line to connect all the points. So I connected the 1 inch I came down from to the 3 inches neck width, and then I'm drawing a straight line here. I'll place my tape here and find the midpoint, which is 4 inches, and then I will divide my chest line measurement by 4 and mark it here. And then I'll use my curve ruler to just curve from the, just curve it like this. On my waistline, I am also going to divide my round waist measurement by 4, and on my shirt length, I'm also going to divide my round hip measurements divided by 4, and then I will also go ahead to connect all the lines. So again, I'm going to add add 1 inch to all of the lines. So I'm just going to add 1 inch here, 1 inch here, and 1 inch here. That is half inch for ease and half inch for sewing allowance. But like I said earlier, you should use 1.5 inches. Okay, yeah. So at the, here on the shoulder line, remember the 1 inch that we subtracted from the front shoulder? I'm going to be replacing it here now. So I just place 1 inch. I'm going to add 1 inch to the shoulder line and draw a straight line to connect. So here now is our new shoulder line for the back, and that is it for, and then here I'm going to be cutting it on fold at the center back here. It's going to be on fold, and this is the back pattern. Now I'll just go ahead and cut. I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So I realized I wanted my the side to be curved, so I just took out my curve ruler and just created a curve at the side, both for the front side and the back side. I just drew a curve, and then I'll cut it out and place it on my front piece and also cut the same thing out. I didn't really have a standard measurement for this, but you know how curved you want it to be, so you draw it on your pattern. So I just brought in my front pattern and placed the back on it, so I can draw exactly the same curve on the front pattern as well. So I've also cut out for the back pattern, and I added half inch on the shoulder line for joining the shoulders of the front and the back. And you can see that this back piece is not cut into two, it is cut as one piece. Now for this front here, I'm going to be folding in the 3 inches that we left for the buttonhole. So I'll fold in 1 inch and then fold in 1 inch again. So that means I'm going to be folding a total of 2 inches, and then the other 1 inch is going to be for the button overlap. So I'll do the same thing to the other side of the shirt. Now I'm going to cut for the sleeve now. So I'm folding it into 2 and folding it into 2 again. So I'm just arranging it so I can go ahead to take my measurements. So from the top here, I came down by 11 inches, and I'm going to mark the 11 inches that is going to serve as my sleeve length, sewing allowances included. So at the top here also, I'm going to go down by 4 inches. And on that 4 inches line, you remember our chest line is 9 inches, so I'll also place that 9 inches here, and then I'm going to add the 1 inch allowance that we added on our shirt. That is the half inch for ease and the half inch for sewing allowance, making it a total of 10 inches. So I marked it on there as well. So starting from the top part, this folded parts at the top, I'm going to draw like something like an S, sort of like an S, and I'm going to connect it to the 10 inches line, the 10 inches points that we have. And after you're done taking it, you're going to measure it, and then you're going to bring the shirts after you must have joined the front and back together. So I'm going to measure around the armhole. I'm going to measure around the armhole after I have joined the front and the back piece together. I'll measure around the armhole and know if I have the same thing on here. So for instance, I had 22 inches when I measured it, and on this inverted S I have 11 inches, which is perfect. So I'm going to be taking my round sleeve measurement divided by 2, and then I added 1.5 inches for ease and for sewing allowance. On here I reduced it by half an inch. So I'll just connect the points together. And here now is our sleeve. So it's just as simple as that, and I'll go ahead and cut it. After cutting it, I'm going to notch here, so to indicate that it's the midpoint of this sleeve. And we have two pieces here for the left hand side and for the right hand side. Now I've gone ahead to, you know, fold in the button hole, the allowance that we left for button. I folded it the two sides, and then I also went ahead to join the front and the back piece together. So I folded it right side facing right side, and then I stitched it by 1/2 inch at the top of the shoulder for the both sides. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to insert the sleeve. So I'm going to fold it. Remember that the front and the back are not equal in terms of in lengthwise, so I'm going to fold it like this, and then I'm going to, you know, mark what I have at the top as the midpoint, because here the shoulder line is not the midpoint because of the shortage of, because we removed 1 inch from the front shoulder line. So I just notched on there, and I'm also going to do the same thing for this other side. So now it's time to attach the sleeves, and I'm going to take my sleeve like this, and I'm going to place the right side of my sleeve on the right side of my my shirts, with the notched points touching each other. And then I'll go ahead and pin it and join it all around. If you need a full tutorial on how to cut a sleeve and how to attach it, like full detailed video, let me know in the comment section, okay? So I'll go ahead and also attach the other sleeve, and now I have done that. I have attached the both sleeves here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to join the sides. So I'll turn it over to the wrong side, right side facing right side of the back side of the back shirt facing right side of the front shirt. So I'll turn it over to the wrong side, and I'm going to go ahead now to join by half. Remember the 1/2 inch we left for sewing allowance? I'll go now and join it by 1/2 inch, and I'll also hem the, you know, the sleeve as well. So I'll join it by 1/2 inch like this all the way down, and then I'll hem the sleeve afterwards, or you can actually hem the sleeves before, you know, joining, whichever way works for you. It's fine. And I'll also go ahead and do that to the other side as well. So after I was done doing that, I went ahead to cut the collar for this shirt, and I also hemmed the bottom part of the shirt. Now to you know, attach the collar, I made a separate video for it. It's a well-detailed video, and I'm going to leave the link in the description box below. So here is the final, you know, look of the shirt. You can see the collar is here. I'm going to the video is down in the description box, so you can go watch it and check it out. You can see how neat it is. And I also went ahead to hem the bottom part of this shirt, and that is just it on how to make this shirt. So please, if you end up enjoying this video and learning how to sew a shirt, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share, and leave a comment, and I will see you in my next video. Okay.